Hey guys, welcome back to Weekend Update. So before we get started here, I want to recommend another YouTube channel, someone who I've been following for a while. It mainly started back when we had the Oroville Dam spillway potential disaster here in California 2 years ago. So anyways, the guy's name is Juan Brown, and his channel is the Blanco Lirio channel, and I'll put a link in the description. He's a professional pilot, very knowledgeable, and he covers a lot of subjects, and some of the latest stuff he's been covering is the 737 MAX 8 disasters and crashes. And he has done a really good job of explaining what they think is happening, and how the whole processes work and so forth. He does a really good job of detailing it and laying it out so most people can understand what's happening. And if you're interested in that kind of thing, definitely check him out. And he's got other great content as well. You know, a lot of outdoor adventure stuff and the like. Okay, the other thing is check it out. So most of you watch Mr. Pete, and he did a tool tip episode on these Stanley bolt cutters. And I was watching and I go, wait a minute, I got a set of those. So slightly different part number, but you know, essentially the same thing. And I didn't know about the bender function. So I rummaged around. I found a little piece of rod here. It's actually a stake for one of those pop-up shade canopies. So let me move the camera around and let's see if we can bend a piece of wire. And then we'll get into the rest of the content, which is going to be no machining this week. Made some flea market finds. We had some nice weather, so hit a couple flea markets, and we also made a Craigslist find. So, all right, let me move the camera around and let's have a look at this thing. Okay. Let me see if I can do this and not trip over the tripod. So, when Mr. Pete was showing these, he actually took the pivot bolt out, you know, to swing this out of the way. But what we found out is you just pull this pin out right here. So let's try that. Hopefully that's in frame so you guys can see. And I have never bent a piece of wire with this, so this will be the maiden run here. Okay, so then that, all right, there we go. So that swings out of the way. Okay, so I don't know if that's a bearing or a bushing. All right, so let's see here. Okay, there we go. All right, here goes. Oh, that is easy. See if we get a 90-degree bend. See that okay? I'd already put a little bit of oil on there. Wow, that really worked good. And what is this thing? 3/16 rod? Let's take a look here. Yeah, 3/16. Okay, well there you go. So, discovered something that I had and I didn't know I had. It's always good. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of oil on these off camera, give them a little maintenance. All right, so we'll move on to the rest of the content. Alright, I got them oiled up, and I want to try a couple more bends. One bend isn't enough to really figure out what you can do with these guys. So let's see if we can do a offset here. Try to get it 90 degrees. You guys probably can't see that, but all right, so it moved on us a little bit. Pretty cool. So we had a really nice weekend. So the old coyote, always thinking about picking up more Acme tools, decided to do a little flea market run. So we've got a local flea market. It's a high school close by, and that's one of my favorite ones to go to. It's it's free to get in, easy to park. A lot of just local sellers, a lot of homeowners are selling. So, and there's a retired machinist that I see out there all the time, and he's always got something to sell. So, anyways, let's take a look at what we got. So I seen one guy. He had that hammer, nice little ball peen Vaughn, $2, done deal. And then he also had a bunch of hex keys. So I can't remember the brand name of these red ones. Most of the writing and everything's worn off of these, but they're in good shape. Nothing's rounded off. It's a combination set, metric and SAE. I think they came out of a school because look at the green paint. Hopefully it was a school and they didn't come from somewhere else. These are the metric ones. Those are the SAE. So $5. I didn't even argue. I just whipped out a 5 and here you go, bud. All right. So then I went and saw the machinist guy that I always see out there, and I spotted this little brown and not brown and sharp Starrett wire gauge. It's I'm not sure if it was originally black oxide. Somebody might have colored it, but it's not rusted. It's just been blackened, and it's in good shape. So I ended up forking out $12 for that, but I think it's worth it. You know, it's a quality piece. And then the other item, he had this Henry Ford trade school, I guess a student guide. And I wasn't really interested at first until I started flipping through it. And this is really amazing. It's in really good condition. And this is revised in 1941, so I don't know what the actual printing date was. But it's really a really a neat book. It's it's all covers all types of metalworking, handwork, formulas, different types of tooling, goes through everything. Then it gets into measurements, protractors, files. It's got some great information in here on files and techniques and so forth. Really a neat book. More formulas, drill bits, a lot of information on drill bits, sharpening and theories and so forth. Tapers, threads, a lot of really neat information on threads. Gears, a lot of great information. Gear cutting machines, and then it gets into lathes, shapers. There's even there we go. There's a vertical shaper. I've never seen a vertical shaper. That's pretty interesting. More lathe stuff. Quite a bit on lathes than milling machines. Vertical turret lathe. Cutting tools. Just really a neat book. So anyways, I ended up paying $12 for this. But that'll be some good reading. Very interesting. I was just flipping through it, and next thing I knew, like an hour went by the other day. Okay. All right, that was all at the little flea market, and like I say, that's my favorite one to go to. Then the following day, on Sunday, I went out to our big flea market, and it was packed out there. But it's always hit and miss. You never know what you're going to find, and it wasn't that great of a day for shop stuff. But I did get an almost complete transfer punch set. It's an inch set, and let's see, what's the brand? It's a Spellman. So I'm pretty sure it's U.S. made. It's kind of unique on the way the holder is laid out here. This 1732 is out here in front, and of course we're missing a few sizes. But hey, $5. I got to do a little repair here. I'd already started working on it a little bit. I'm gonna clean that up some more, and we'll probably do this. We'll do this on camera, but we got to solder that. I think that's probably the best way to fix that. So we'll make a little project out of that. And then another guy, snap ring pliers, no brand, no points, $1. You can always use those. Okay. All right, let me pause the camera for a minute and make some room here. I want to show you what else I got. So we were a little disappointed at the big flea market. Basically, we only found 2 items, and we really looked hard. I mean, there's plenty of, mechanics tools and, construction tools and that kind of stuff. But I got quite a few of those type of items, and I mainly was focusing on shop stuff. So the wife and I, we've been doing a bunch of spring cleaning in the house and getting rid of a lot of stuff. We've got a remodel project we're getting started on, so we're trying to make room and so forth. So I was putting a lot of stuff on Craigslist for free, and of course, if you got the computer on and you're on Craigslist, naturally you're going to check to see what's in the tool category. So I spotted this ad, and they had a bunch of lathe chucks. So anyways, let me bring the first one out here. Okay, let's see if we can get that in frame. All right, there we go. Okay. So they had several chucks listed, and it was quite a ways away. It was a 70-mile drive, clear at the other north end of the bay. So I'm looking at the ad, and it's like, wow, that's a pretty good deal. They were all brand new chucks that were still packaged, and let me just go ahead and open it up here. So I talked to the lady. She's selling them for her father. Her father doesn't know how to put stuff on the internet, so he brought some stuff over to her. They're all chucks. And then there was also a height gauge. I didn't want the height gauge. It wasn't that great. But she had, I think, 6 different chucks that he had brought over to her house. So anyways, she sent me some extra photos. We talked for a while. And I go, you know what? I better come up and look at them. So I drove up there. And this was the one that I was really interested in. So she said that these were sealed. She was the first one, she thinks, that opened them just so she could get the photos. So we've got a chuck key. Packing. And what we got here is it's a 6-inch 4-jaw. This one's an import. it's got the paperwork, which is, you know, these Chinese trucks. It's just, you know, I don't have a lot of merit or give it a lot of merit. I think it's just a standard form. You know, nothing's serialized or checked off or anything like that. But anyways, the specs look good. All right, let me see if we can get this out of here. Oh, well, look at this is it's a VLT 4062. I tried to look that up, and I only got one hit. It looks like it was sold by Jet as an accessory for jet lathe. So it's a VLT 4062, and really couldn't find much info. I mean, it's probably just the standard import. They probably sell them multiple ones under different brand names, different model numbers. Who knows? Let's see if I can get it out of here without disaster. There we go. Okay, so this is what really got me excited. That's the exact mount that'll fit my lathe, the 2 1/4 by 8. So that's perfect. I would have rather had the opportunity to do the final register cuts myself to get, you know, better concentricity. But heck, you know, you got to go with what you got. So, I mean, it looks good. It's still got cosmoline in spots. It's going to need a complete disassembly and cleaning. The screws are all pretty tight. I mean, they do move. I don't want to move them much. I want to get some oil in there, so that at least it has some kind of lubrication before disassembly. But overall, it looks pretty good. So anyways, that was $100. And a lot of you guys know I have a Sanyo 4-jaw, and I think I got sold a counterfeit because it is really junk. And you know, I've seen other people have good reviews on the Sanyos, but mine is just junk. It's going to become probably a weld positioner or boat anchor or something. Okay. All right, let me get this one out of the way, and then I'll show you what else we got. Okay. You guys see that okay? There we go. All right, so this one I need, but don't need. I have another chuck that's an import that I was going to set up. My existing 3-jaw is really worn out. The scroll is worn out. I've tried to regrind it, but every time you change the diameter, move it at all, you've got different run out. You know, the scroll is just shot. So anyways, they had this one. It is a Bison. Still in the package, or at least it was still in the package. We got the chuck key. Right there. And we've got the paperwork still sealed. And let's see, make sure you guys can see this. And it actually has some handwritten information on here. That's just the backplate spec. So at least a human touched it, which is good. 2004. Okay. I was looking for a date and I just seen it. Okay. All right, let's see if we can get this out of here. I'll just tip it up here. Be a lot safer. Okay, so we're still in I don't know if that's cosmoline or just shipping oil. Probably just oil. So it's got 2-piece jaws. Get that out of the way. We got the bison, made in Poland. And this is that's just cosmoline, that's not rust on there. And it is a 32, oh sorry, I wasn't blocking the camera. It's a 3285, 6 1/4 by 2 1/4 by 8. Okay, this must be the serial number over here, 3715. And it's a, that's the correct mount for my lathe. It'll go right on the spindle. So, like I say, I wanted this, but I didn't really need it because I had another option. But anyways, we were able to come up with a pretty good price on it. They were asking $400, and I told her, I just can't do that. Just being a hobbyist and not running a professional shop, that I could only give her $300. So she called her father. Talked to him for a while, and she said, it's yours. So I'm happy. I think it's a fair deal. It doesn't appear that it's ever been used, and I'm pretty sure that's cosmoline. It may have a little tiny rust spot, but yeah, I mean, bison's a good quality. Here again, it's already got the back plate fitted, so hopefully it will run true. It's a pretty heavy, try not to smash my finger there. It's a pretty heavy back plate, so if I had to recut the register, if it's running off a little bit, there's probably enough meat there to do that. Hopefully we don't have to do that. Well guys, I couldn't stand it. I had to do a little cleaning just to see what it looked like underneath all that oil and whatever this gook is that they use. I'm going to call it cosmoline oil. But yeah, so this is, hopefully that's showing up. Let me bring it up here. That is some surface rust. I hit it with some Neverdull a little bit to try to clean it up. I think it'll clean up. It's just going to take a little effort. And what's weird is whatever this cosmoline stuff is, it stains the iron. Must be some type of chemical or dye or whatever that's in it. But I think with a little bit of work that'll clean up though. Yeah, so couldn't stand it. I was just going to put it back in the box for now, and because I got other things I need to work on. But yeah, we had to have a look. Okay, thanks again, everybody. It's probably going to be a while before we get too many more videos out, since we are starting a bunch of work on the house. We're doing a kitchen remodel, and that's going to be burning up a lot of time. But hopefully we'll have a little bit of dead time here and there. We can at least do a weekend update or some other quick video. But just letting you guys know, it's going to be a busy summer. We are going to go to the bash, so I will see you guys at the bash. I'm really looking forward to that. It'll be my first year, and really want to meet some of the viewers and the other YouTubers out there. I think it'll be a good time. So alrighty, so until next time, hey guys, thanks again for stopping by, and please hit the like and subscribe button if you like what you see, and hopefully down the road here we'll be getting some more content coming out. Alrighty, thanks again.